5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Merry Christmas from John at WDMA and the International Society for Strategic Marketing. Okay, so I planned a Christmas special on Christmas Eve. Not on Christmas. I'm skipping Christmas. But on Christmas Eve, I'm going to do a Christmas special. And I'm going to run all the commercials that I've been watching these past weeks that make me cry. And I'm going to do a whole batch of them on Christmas Eve morning. So that'd be Monday morning. I'll try and queue it up. And you can see 5, 6, 7, 8 of the best Christmas commercials. Even if you don't feel like working on Christmas Eve, it'll be a lot of fun. And there won't be a lot of commentary in it. Yeah, tomorrow and Friday, I'm queuing up some of the final sessions in the context playlist that we're building. So you're going to get a lot of things to think about. Not much news. So today we'll do the news, and then we'll be done with the news for a while. So here we go. First, I wanted to show you really fun, a fun stunt that Payless Shoes pulled off. Let's play that.
We built a fake luxury store in Los Angeles and filled it with Payless shoes. The guests at our grand opening party had no idea.
They're elegant, sophisticated.
I just think it's so classy.
And I could tell it was made with high-quality material.
These fashionistas actually paid $200, $400, and even $600 for Payless shoes. But you can get these same shoes at Payless for $19.99 or lower with our epic holiday deals. Why pay more when you can pay less?
Okay, there's a bunch of videos out on this exact stunt. I just think it's brilliant because, and it leads into what I want to talk about today. But you know, they hired up the influencers, which you can do. I had a story about a restaurant in Chicago that invited all of the social media influencers from around the area and gave them a dinner where everything had been sitting in, I think it was in Tupperware for 48 hours or 72 hours or something like that. And, they loved it. They raved about it because it was in a fancy setting and everything was nouveau, wonderful. And I think this is kind of a picture of that, is that we have, there's a culture that just wants new and wants the next thing. And they thought that Palessi shoe store was the next thing. And so they assumed, because they saw all the fashionista stuff, that it was the fancy shoes. And if you watch the interviews with the people who are coming to the counter and paying $600 for a pair of shoes that they can get at Payless for $19.95, they don't know that, right? But they just think, well, no one's going to pay $600 for these shoes, so I'm going to be the only one who has them, which is why they want to pay $600 for them. I mean, marketers figure this out, right? It's not about the shoes. It's about, no, none of my friends are going to pay $600, so they won't have them, so I will have them and they won't get them. Exclusivity. But the irony, of course, is that it has nothing to do with the shoe itself, or almost nothing, which is wonderful. So now let's talk about the pornography of change. Well, first, let's talk about this. Older Americans are driving the growth of wearables, which I thought was fascinating. In 2019, it says Americans age 55 and older will use a wearable device up to more than 15% over this year. Now, I have to say, I never thought my wife would be wearing a bit, what is it called? A bit bracelet? I'll think of it later. It's this electronic watch. It keeps track of your heart rate, keeps track of your number of steps. My aunt, Aunt Barbara, got one and was so enthralled with it, she wanted to give me one for my birthday. This was in 2015. I declined. Now, the truth is, my phone is a wearable device, which I have here. My phone. I'm keeping track of the time. And it keeps track of my steps and does a lot of other things like grocery lists and things that I don't want to do on my watch. But just wanted you to know that older Americans are not as out of it as you think. Okay, wearables like smartwatches are now coming equipped with additional health features, especially appealing to older Americans. They ought to make the type bigger. See this? This is the way you need to have it. This is the way you need to have it, like big, like that. Okay, that's what older Americans like. On another topic, okay, CMO tenures are actually going up, and 43 and 45% of CMOs are women. Go get them, girls. Anyway, I've had a bunch of bosses that were women, and some of them were excellent. I've had a lot of men bosses, and some of them were excellent, but some not, some yes. You know, people are people. Anyway, we better go on. So let's just go right to the featured article because I'm running out of time. Wonderful, excellent article, Mark. I wrote to you. I hope we connect on LinkedIn. Yes, around this time of year, we're deluged with prophetic articles. And marketing is a fascinating discipline in that most people who practice it have no idea about its origins and foundations, little clue about how to do a job properly in the present, but unbounded enthusiasm to speculate about the future and what it will bring. Now, one of the advantages of this show, I'm probably the oldest guy on Twitch. One of the advantages of this show is, oh, you can't see my screen. There it is. Makes me sound smarter. Maybe I should stay this way. Okay. But Mark, one of the advantages I have is I was around before computers in marketing. And I did a talk on how to use computers in marketing. I was one of the first talks ever to do that. In the New York Hilton, I was the first one ever to ask him if I could plug my computer into a projector. I ended up buying a projector from Germany just so I could do it. And, so I've seen the whole thing. I've seen how little things have changed in spite of how much they've changed. And I've seen how few of the promises of the System 34 and the System 36 and the System 38 and the AS400 and all the different IBM promises for all these years about how you can take your data and everyone will understand what's going on. Promises are the same today, except now they're in the cloud, so they don't have to put a number on it. Great. You know what the cloud is? It's a bunch of big computers in a room. You're time sharing. You're doing the same thing we were doing in the 60s or the 70s when we couldn't afford a computer, so we time shared. Why would you do that? Computers are cheap. You can buy dozens and hundreds of them for nothing. I won't even tell you the kind of money I don't spend on computers, and you can fill them with data. I bought a bunch of computers, 500 gig hard drives for $35 a piece. And those are real computers that you can really actually take with you. Anyway, but marketers are attracted to the shiny stuff with a disproportionate degree. Plus, a lot of us are in a job doing marketing for someone else, telling them how important it is that they switch to our stuff. I'm not telling you that. I'm telling you, stick to the basics over and over and over every day. Great article, Mark. The second thing, which is great, is that with these predictions, you can garner fantastic headlines impossible to fact check. Okay, so Mark calls this future porn. This is one of the best articles I've run across in a long time. Here's the drinking game, and he's going to give you categories. This would be good maybe for Christmas Eve or New Year's Eve. Now it's really going to happen. Boy, if I had a nickel or a drink for every AI article I've come across just this week, but now AI is really going to do it. You know what? If AI were so smart, I mean, it's not smarter than intelligence in general. And intelligence isn't that intelligent, right? But artificial intelligence is stupid. Oh, I can give you example after example, but oh my goodness. Watch the Context series. Okay, so now it's really going to happen. There was a big AI craze in the late 80s, but now it's really going to happen. The new will kill the old, right? Okay, Amazon is going to destroy retail bookstores. Yeah, that doesn't happen. Okay, second, TV is going to destroy radio. Right, and radio is going to destroy newspapers. And the internet is going to destroy everything because it'll all be right there on your screen. Yes, all right, yes. Okay, Netflix's own data shows that its members drive only 8% of their total video from the platform. Let's rename the concept and make it essential for 2019, or I predict the business I'm in is going to be huge. You know what? 2019 is going to look a lot like 2018. This is great. This shows the time spent in major activities by people. No change whatsoever. Good marketers should be learning from 2018. Improve your strategy and execution. And if you don't improve your offer, you can't improve your sales and profit. We do that for people. Made millions of dollars for people. Some gone public. Some have sold out. I'm John.